Hey everybody, Sue Scott of the Back 10 Feet here, and right now I'm looking over my vegetable garden area here in Madison, Wisconsin, where I now live, and just wanted to share with you, hi Jenny, some information about water for wildlife. I have several water sources in my yard because it's important to understand, especially those of us, oh my gosh, the birds are singing, who live in urban and suburban neighborhoods. The little areas that used to have water sources naturally for wildlife, especially the small wildlife, are either paved over or sodded over, and everything has changed. So it's up to us to provide resources for them. Right here, just like I did in Florida, let me get back over here so you can see. Here's a very simple, yes, I see you. There's Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Very simple water source right here on the ground. And all that is about an 8-inch saucer, terracotta, see the size of it, that I got from a store, a garden store, and it's very shallow, as you can see. See that? And I just changed the water, change about every 3 days. That way you don't worry about mosquito larvae during the summer months. But what's neat about this is it's on the ground and it's shallow and wide. I hear you, Jenny. And that's what birds especially love. And when it comes to cleaning, I just want to show you what I use. This brush. No chemicals at all. I want it as safe as possible for the birds, the lizards, the snakes, the frogs, the toads, the bees, whoever needs it. Yes, Jenny. And I want to show you another source that I have, because like a lot of you, I love pretty bird baths. I'm no different than anybody else. But it's important to make sure you keep it clean. Isn't this pretty? I got that on sale the end of last summer. And you'll notice this is a bit deeper. See how deep it gets? Let's see if I can show you right there. Yeah, pretty deep. So I put a rock in the middle. And this makes it easy for bees, butterflies, you know, little critters and small birds to safely stand there, dip their toes in, get some water without drowning. So people can get out. That's important. And I have a lot of little insects here today right now that are utilizing the area. And you'll notice I've also created some hidey places using bricks and little pots, whatever I can find. I like to create places for small wildlife to hide. In fact, here's a bit of a brush pile. That's all good. And I just want to show you over by I moved the compost bin, and I've got another little brush pile started. And then the plants will eventually cover it up. Up here, I'm still learning what the native plants are, so I know that's a hosta, not native, but not invasive. But look at this, I got a Joe Pye weed, which is native not only here in Wisconsin, but also in Florida. It's really interesting to see that Wisconsin, which has a lot of wetlands, marshes, waterways, just like Florida, and also prairie, shares a lot of native plants with the state of Florida, where I've been for the last 53 years. So in my garden, lots of non-natives, ornamentals. I'm still learning what's good and what isn't. Just discovered that this little guy here, which is so pretty, as a ground cover. I think up here they call it Creeping Charlie. Not anything like the Creeping Charlie in Florida. And it's an invasive exotic, so I got to work on getting rid of that. Once I have other things for the bees. I have a lot of bumblebees in my yard. And so once the vegetables and the herbs and the edible flowers start coming up and blooming, I'll be able to work more on getting rid of this invasive exotic. But I just wanted to mention to y'all how important it is to have a water source in your landscape, yes, Jenny, for the birds and the butterflies and the bees, and as I said, the lizards and the snakes and the chipmunks and squirrels and anybody else who needs it. The more the better. Let's get past Jenny. So the more you can provide in your landscape for wildlife, the better. I'm actually going to be working on putting something else in the yard, a little bit bigger terracotta dish that I can maybe put in one of these shaded areas, especially because I know the other day I saw some rustling here. I might have some toads. So whatever you can do, you do. It doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter where you are. I know it's easy when you watch all these gardening shows to get caught up in the idea of these, you know, $10,000 ponds designed not only to be pretty but to help wildlife. But let's be honest, all you need is $10. The wildlife doesn't care. All they care about is having access to food, shelter, and water. So please, add 2 to 4, maybe 5 or 6 water sources in your landscape today. And again, you only have to spend about $10, okay? Let's just all make the commitment to do that. And just keep doing what you're doing. Get real, go native, as John Sibley would say. And just thanks for tuning in. And remember, we can all do something starting in the back 10 feet.